What's good, y'all? It's your boy Duke coming back at you with another video. Shout out to Elijah Scott, aka Eli Effin, a local fashion designer, actually based out of Tempe. Go follow him on Instagram. You see up there at Eli Effin on Instagram. I obviously have his threads on right now, so big shouts out to him. Go check out his website at esignatures.bigcartel.com, and there's a forward slash there. But he has some cool shirts. Got a new fashion line out right now. Got some stickers, jackets, all that good stuff. So shout out to Eli once again. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Duke. Obviously, you know I'm back here with another video. Shout out again to Eli Effin for the threads today, man. Got me looking pretty fresh. Today we're going to be reviewing KOD, which is J. Cole's fourth studio album. It's 12 songs long. It's about 43 minutes or so. KOD actually stands for three things. Let me read this for you real quick. So he tweeted, it stands for either Kids on Drugs, King Overdose, or Kill Our Demons. So I actually gave this project a thumbs up on pretty much every song, except for the intro, which doesn't really count as a song. But I do want to preface this by saying that I think that mumble rappers and lyricists have a little bit of a different criteria that you grade for. So I wouldn't say that an album that's a lyricist should be graded with that of a mumble rapper. So he got an A+ for starters. He also doesn't really rap from a perspective of being himself. It's actually a critique on mumble rappers and the industry today, how it's commercialized, how it's pop, and it's just really interesting to see how he goes through it all. So without further ado, let's get to the review. Like I said, I don't think that intros should go towards how you grade an album, but what intros do is they set a tone for what the rest of the album should look like. So J. Cole in this one, he has a lady, she's speaking about how newborn babies have two main ways of communicating. So it's either laughter or crying, and laughter means I love this, and crying means that I hate this, it's not fun, I'm in pain. And she emphasizes that pain is something that you go through in life, and that you have many means to deal with it, and how you choose to deal with it, you should choose wisely. And that's definitely the tone that's set. J. Cole goes through different perspectives of what you can do to deal with pain, whether it be money, whether it be drugs, liquor, sex, list it, whatever it is, cars, houses, all that good stuff. And he goes through it as a perspective of maybe a younger guy or a mumble rapper, somebody that's not J. Cole. And you can tell that he's had so much growth throughout this at the end of the album, but at the beginning, it kind of would confuse you because he talks about, money, sex, drugs, all that good stuff. But the intro definitely sets a good precedent of what the rest of the album is going to look like. So the first song on the album is KOD. Like I said, it can mean Kids on Drugs, King Overdose, or Kill Our Demons. And I actually do like the flow that he comes in with. But it seems to be more of a critique, of new age rappers. Almost still in their flow, what they talk about and stuff like that, which is why I say it's different perspectives. And he goes into the second verse with, basically just a critique of what they rap about by rapping about what they rap about. And he shows that not only is he skilled as a lyricist, but he can do whatever mumble rappers do easily, which is a critique in my opinion. So KOD obviously gets a thumbs up to me, and it transitions really nicely in a photograph because he talks about love being a way that you can deal with pain. Love is a drug, as he puts it basically. So that segues into Photograph, which is actually about love. Like I said, it transitions really nicely in the Photograph, which is actually a song about a guy falling in love with a girl through pictures. It says, fell in love through photographs. So he's going to keep this girl for himself, not show his friends, this and that. But he tries to, and he shoots his shot and he bricks. Kind of like my friend Aaron at the gym, be bricking, throwing him up. But regardless, I think it's a critique of how younger generations, they don't really communicate through, face-to-face conversation as much. It's more through a DM. And then when you get curved, that pain, the theme of the album, pain, how do you deal with it? And the guy in the song deals with it by, taking drugs or drinking or spending money on things instead of actually facing his problems. So I think it goes back to the main theme of pain, like I said, and it gets a thumbs up for me. Sonically, the song's not really exciting or anything, but it's more about the message that gives it a thumbs up for me. I want to apologize in advance for the bad audio quality. I actually just got into a car accident about 2 weeks ago, and I lost the little adapter that I need to get my microphone set up and stuff like that. So the audio quality is going to be a little bit poor today. but I'm getting a new adapter, so it will be fixed. But let's move on to the next song. It's called The Cutoff. And the refrain starts by saying, heaven is a mindset, I've been a couple times. So he's talking about how drugs are an escape, how it's a mindset. Heaven's a mindset, I've been a couple times. And this song's actually really catchy. I do like the song sonically, and I do like the message from it. Like I said, he's been stealing the mumble rap flow, but he's saying stuff with it. So he's killing it. He's doing his thing. And he talks about the pain of disloyalty in this song. So he talks about people using him, using almost like a drug. And, he had to cut some people off. So that's why the song is called The Cutoff. And the guy in the song, which is, it's not J. Cole, but it's almost shadowing to J. Cole, or how he was in his younger days is what it seems it is. People using him for his money, so he had to cut those people off, and that hurts. So the way he dealt with it was smoking or drinking. Not so much buying things in this song, but mainly using drugs as an escape. Like he says, heaven is a mindset. He's been a couple times. So I think this song also gets a thumbs up for me, obviously. It sounds really good, and then the message is great. So next song on the album is ATM, and it's actually probably the catchiest as far as the chorus goes. It's like, count it up, count it up. I don't know, he's stealing mumble rap flow, basically, and he's talking about money, which is something that a lot of mumble rappers actually do talk about. In this song, he is critiquing basically how much money is. How the value of money shouldn't be as much as it is. I mean, it's just a piece of paper, but you can't live without it. You do need money. And he just talks about the glorification of money and how materials are something that people are chasing, but I mean, what does it really mean? And he's not saying those words, but you can tell by the way that he's rapping what you know about J. Cole as a rapper, that it's a heavy critique of how much rappers place value on things that they can buy. I mean, he talks about his rollie, he talks about his whips, his cars, and stuff like that. And eventually at the end of the album, he'll get to it. But like I said, the chorus is really catchy, so I do sonically like the song. And then the message behind it, which is almost rhetorical, is good to me. Next song is called Motivate, with it's like MOTIV 8. I don't know that even looks like it. Yeah, anyways. So he's rapping about how obviously rappers use drugs, money, women, all that good stuff to motivate themselves. And he actually has a line where he says, I'm dying inside, popping a pill to feel alive. And, if you listen to today's music, a lot of rappers talk about popping a pill, doing drugs or whatever, and it's to keep them motivated, which is basically what J. Cole is trying to say. The song it's kind of boring to me, but I do like the message behind it, so it gets a thumbs up to me. I could listen to it. I also do want to say that I don't think J. Cole is one of the more exciting artists to listen to, but I do like the message of what he talks about. So he has a really low replay value. As far as I'm concerned, like, I wouldn't play his album over and over again just to listen to it. But I do listen to his music for the message, and he delivers very well. This song is called Kevin's Heart, so it's obviously a pun on Kevin Hart's name. But what it's about, Twitter's going to love this song. It's for the culture. He's talking about how men use temptation, I guess, to deal with their pain, how to cope with it, and they sleep with however many women they want to. And the guy in the song actually has a girl, and he cheats on her or whatever. And he gets to a point where he can't even look himself in the mirror. So, I mean, he's doing drugs and stuff and spending money to deal with that pain, as well as the pain of not being a good enough man to the woman that he loves. It's one of my favorite songs on the album just because it gives a deeper look into how men feel, I guess, about loyalty and stuff like that, and how they deal with it, with temptation and stuff like that. It's just so interesting. So well done to J. Cole. I know people are going to slander him and say that he's wacky or whatever, but I think bravo. Next up on the list is a song called Brackets, and it's alluding to money and tax brackets. At the end of the song is actually when you see J. Cole first enter as himself. He's rapping from the perspective of J. Cole, and you can tell by how he's critiquing taxes and democracy. He says democracy is too slow, and if he's paying taxes, he wants to see the effects on it. He talks about how kids and schools are being taught by people that don't look like them, and it doesn't do anything. These congressmen are funneling money or getting money funneled to them, by like the NRA or gun manufacturers who run the NRA, and it leads to bloody clothes in his street, which is honestly true. I mean, I don't personally see it, but there's so many communities affected by that, and I think that's dope that he's talking about it, how he's rich, but I mean he's paying all these taxes and it's not, he can't see the effects of it. The refrain as afterwards has a skit, and he's talking about how he made his first million, how he's rich, and he's on the phone with this guy, and he said he needs half, and the guy blows him off or whatever. But I think it's just interesting to think how all these rappers make all this money just to blow it, and he's saying that if he's going to pay taxes, he'd rather just see it be used to good things, which is a great message. So another thumbs up. Good job, Jermaine Cole. You're doing great. And let's move on to number 9. Enter J. Cole. It's about time, man. So he comes in, finally, the first song as himself completely. Obviously, he was at the end of brackets. And he's talking about his mother's addiction. So the song's called Once an Addict. And he talks about basically, being a kid, seeing his mom on drugs and how he couldn't wait to leave, how the Ville was how he was escaping. Music was his escape. Went to college. He thought things were going to be good, but his mom called him to be drunk. Just the struggles of living with someone who's an addict. And he talks about how, he gets all this success, he has all these women, all this, all that, and how he just wished that he wouldn't have ran away from his mom. And I think, as boring as J. Cole can be, I'll say his message is definitely what sets him apart from other rappers. So another thumbs up. Once an Addict is such an introspective song. Just gives you a look at why J. Cole thinks the way he does and why he feels the way he does. So let's move on to number 10. Number 10 is called Friends, and it's basically a continuation of Once an Addict. But instead of talking about his mom, he's talking about his friends that are addicted. And it's kind of just a lot of the same of what you got from Once an Addict. At the end, he says that there's a different way. He says, meditate, don't medicate, which I think is a good strategy. If you don't know, I'm Buddhist, so I do meditate, and I agree with him that if you're depressed and you're going through things and you have all this pain, meditation definitely is a better way than drugs, because drugs and depression do not mix, as J. Cole wisely says. Also, I do want to mention that there is a person called Kill Edward, who this is his second appearance in the album, and I think it's just J. Cole. He earlier said that no one is worthy of being on his shit. So it's his only feature. It's called Kill Edward, but I'm pretty sure it's just J. Cole. So let's move on to track 11. Track 11 is called Window Pane, and actually the most interesting part about it is he talks about how there's this little girl and her cousin got shot in Temple while she was praying with him, and he said that he's just never been through that much pain. So as much as pain is the theme of this album, he says that there's people that's been through more pain than him, and how he thought when he made a bunch of money and when he was on the come up and when he made a bunch of money that he was going to be able to help all those people back in the Ville that he left. And he said that the money didn't change anything, and that those people are still the same. And that kind of eats away at him. Kind of wish that he would have stayed and tried to help his friends out instead of making all this money. But, you make your choices and you deal with your pain however you deal with, which is the theme of the album. So, with another thumbs up, Window Pane really addresses the whole theme of the album. So when we move on to track number 12, which is called 1985, the album is finished. This is the last song of KOD, if you will. And 1985 is honestly just a bonus track. It's more of not a critique, but it's him responding to mumble rappers. So let's go to track 12. Well, like I said, track number 12 actually is not a part of the album to me. It's more of just an extended song, and he's talking to a bunch of different rappers. A lot of people want to say Lil Pump, and I guess, but I think he's mainly addressing, honestly, Yachty and maybe a little bit of Lil Uzi. But he's talking about just how these guys aren't going to last, that they're riding trends. He's not hating on them. He just doesn't really like their music because he's not a kid anymore. So he says that once people grow up and you don't have the same audience, that music isn't going to be appealing anymore, so they're going to fall off. and he tells him not to stop touring because that's where the money is. And to me, I mean, people are going to say he's hating, but I think that's a fair point that he's making. He tells them to think about their impact and things like that, and if they don't care, that's on them, which he also says he likes to see a young black man get paid. So regardless, get your money, but all he's saying is that all that money's going to dry up, so make smart investments. I mean, he's honestly just kicking game, spitting knowledge, and I think the people that are going to hate and say, they're going to say, fuck J. Cole, this and that, blah, 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 you're not helping anybody, honestly. You're not helping the culture whatsoever. So big shout out to J. Cole. Dope album. KOD probably is my favorite project from him. I'll put a little bit in front of 2014 Forest Hill Drive. So thanks for staying to the end. That is the album review. Like I said, I gave a thumb up to every song just because of the message mainly. I didn't really grade this album as far as the sounds of it, just because I don't think that's what the purpose was. Wasn't made to do that. So I also want to give a big shout out again to Eli Effin, based out there in Tempe. Go check out his website. Give him a follow on Instagram. He does raffles and stuff, giveaways all the time. Like I said, I was in a car accident 2 weeks ago, so I actually recorded the top 10 underrated album or underrated artists since 2008, but it got deleted, so I had to get a new phone. So, like I said, the quality of this video, the audio was kind of bad, but it will be better by the next video. So, like I said, thank you again so much for staying to the end. Love you guys. Go ahead and give me a follow on Insta at It's Your Boy Duke and on Twitter at It's Your Boy Duke if you don't already. I appreciate you guys, and until next time, I'm tripping. Also, please like, subscribe, leave a comment what you want me to do a video on. I only have like one comment from anybody, so you guys kind of suck on that, but I am very appreciative, of all the subscribers and the likes. So appreciate it. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment below, please. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and until next time, for real this time. Have a great rest of your day.
Shit! Remy, sit. Speak.
Fuck!
Good boy.
At the party with the loaded carbon. Excuse me, all my niggas shooters retarded. I